What's going on, my trainer club? Today we are going to look at the best of the best for the Infernape with the Blast Burn in Pokemon Go, the new community day move that is going to be better, but we'll see if it's going to hold weight in the meta. So welcome to the trainer club. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Let me know in the comments below, how are you doing on your shiny Chimchar day? Have you been lucrative? What is your shiny count and what are your big wins of the day? I can't wait to see what you guys do. And of course, when you guys want to show off what you did today, make sure to #1 go on my Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, now's the time to get a Twitter because that's where we can post a lot of photos and share. And you can also do it on Instagram or as well on Facebook. So we'll check me out on those platforms. But now we're gonna check out the best of the best platform. And as always, if you guys know already what DPS is, what TDO is, and what DPS times TDO means, definitely check in the pinned comments below and skip ahead past this. But for those who are new or do not know or want a refresher, we are gonna go over each of the categories before we start breaking down the stats. So here we go right now, starting off with DPS. DPS means damage per second, which basically means how much power does each Pokemon get with a punch, which takes into the factor of stab, which means same type attack bonus. So for this instance, meaning the Infernape Chimchar or the Monferno with a fire move and a fire typing is going to give it a same type attack bonus. But if it were to get something like Solar Beam, it is not going to get the same type of attack bonus because that is not the same typing. Grass and fire. Having a grass move on a fire guy does not give that type bonus. So since we are type on type here, the Infernape is going to get the boost with the Blast Burn. Secondly, we're going to look at TDO, which stands for total damage output, which means over the entire lifespan of the Pokemon, how much damage can it do? So the main issue with just looking at TDO is going to be that it is just going over the entire lifespan of the Pokemon. So something that is more tanky, such as a Ho-Oh in the fire category, is going to rank pretty high on TDO. And then something like a Blaziken with a very high DPS is going to rank pretty high on the DPS charts, maybe a little bit lower on the TDO charts. So with both of these, it's not really the best accurate measurement of what we're gonna look at. So the better move set analysis is going to come from DPS times TDO, which means using the DPS, which is the strength, and the lifespan of the Pokemon, averaging them together is going to give us the best accurate account of how this Pokemon is going to do with the moveset that is going to have, especially this Blast Burn for the Infernape, which is why we're here right now. But then we take it one step further and we are going to cover with our trainer brains what is going to be the best moveset analysis, because like I always say, 2-bar special more superior than a big 1-bar special if the stats are just about close. And let's say that the 1-bar special takes it to a DPS times TDO of about 2,000. Let's say a 2-bar special takes it to a DPS times TDO like 1990, right? So we're only like a 10-point differential or even like a 50-point differential at a 1950. The reason why I would suggest then going with the 2-bar special is because you don't get to use a half of a bar of a full bar special. However, when you're fighting a raid boss and let's say you're using a Blast Burn, you get that one special off, you use it. The next special off, you use it. The third special off, you use it. And then let's say it kills you after the third special. You would have had 3 specials off in comparison to the 1-bar special, which would have died after only completing 1 full bar, and it would have had half of a power up in the second bar, which is useless for us, right? So that's why we use our trainer brains to do this. So now we're gonna check out the DPS of the Infernape with Blast Burn to see where it sits and to see how powerful one punch is with that moveset for the fire on fire typing, which it does get the attack bonus. So let's check this out right now.
All right, guys, so checking out the DPS, we are starting up at the top. We have the Reshiram Fire Fang Overheat at 18.075. Then we have the Darmanitan with the Fire Fang Overheat, also not out yet. Both these guys could still get nerfed, but the first out yet for DPS is going to be Blaziken Fire Spin Blast Burn combination, 17.241. Then we have the Chandelure at the 17.129. Then we have Moltres Fire Spin Overheat at 16.273. Then we have Blaziken Fire Spin Blaze Kick, 16.084. Then we have the Charizard Community Day Fire Spin Blast Burn at 15.875. Then we have Entei Fire Fang Overheat, 15.873. Then we have the Flareon with the Fire Spin Overheat. And then if you're going to sit at the top right here, so this is going to be in the 11th place, we have the new contender. We have the Infernape with the Fire Spin Blast Burn at 15.63. And then if you go on downwards, I'm not going to cover too many of these guys, but you can go ahead and pause it here. A lot of these guys have different movesets off of their Community Day moves.
So pretty interesting, guys, right? It looks pretty decent, but let's see where it sits as far as the TDO, because if DPS is okay, TDO is okay, the combination is going to make it okay, right? But if one is great and one is okay, then we could make it pretty decent. Or if one is okay, DPS, TDO is really, really good, it could still pull up the stats as far as the best average overall, which we'll look out after we check out the TDO. And the TDO is total damage output, which means over the lifespan of the Pokemon, how good does it do? But since the Infernape has a stat that is higher in the attack, lower in the defense and stamina, it doesn't look too good that it's gonna sit very high on the TDO overall. So let's check out the TDO Infernape Blast Burn right now. Let's see where it sits, come on.
Now we're looking at the TDO. We have the Reshiram Firefang Overheat at the top. 623 is going to be a beast Pokemon. Can't wait to see, like I always say, if these stats hold up relatively up there, I'm excited. Entei Firefang Overheat 545. Then we have Entei Fire Spin Overheat 532. Entei really paves the way with its TDO. And then we have Ho-Oh Hidden Power Fire Blast 530. Heatran 529. Entei 519. Volcarona at the 512. We have Entei Moltres as the first Moltres appearance, which is going to be 491 with the Fire Spin Overheat. And then we have on the second page Entei Moltres. Then we have Charizard with the Fire Spin Blast Burn at the 416. Then we have Moltres, and then with the Arcanine. And then we have Chandelure coming in here. And I use Game Press for all of my stats. Big shout out to Game Press. Really appreciate them. But unfortunately, the Infernape was not 100% updated with the Blast Burn moveset. So it should sit in between in about the 16th to the 18th spot, with probably right under the Moltres, similar to where the Charizard is because of its attacks, which we will measure up here in a second. If you want to pause for the rest of the page, go ahead and do so here.
Very interesting, very interesting. So now we are going to go on to DPS times TDO, which is my favorite measurement of what's going on here. And then we'll obviously check it out with our trainer brains, and I'm going to give you a recommendation on what to do with the Infernape with the Blast Burn. So now we're going to check out DPS times TDO, which is the best overall analysis of what these Pokemon can do with its new moveset and where does it sit overall in the fire category. Because if you don't measure DPS times TDO, in my opinion, you are doing a disservice to your Pokemon and where you can potentially use your resources in Pokemon Go. So let's check it out right now.
Last but not least, our favorite category, DPS times TDO. Reshiram coming in hot at the top. Look at that Firefang Overheat 3683. Volcarona is going to be in the second place. Darmanitan, and the third place, and the first real Pokemon that's out right now, is going to be Entei Firefang Overheat at 2179. I love that Entei. And then we're going to look at the Moltres Fire Spin Overheat 2117. Then we have Chandelure with the big DPS bringing it up there, Fire Spin Overheat 2000. Then we have Entei. We have Blaziken, first Community Day move, Pokemon Fire Spin Blast Burn 1963. Then we have Entei. Then we have Heatran sitting down at the bottom. And then we're going to go on to the second page, which we have Charizard with the Fire Spin Blast Burn combination. We have an Entei with the Fire Spin Flamethrower. Then we have Moltres with Ember and Overheat. Then we have Entei Firefang Fire Blast. Then we have Blaziken with Fire Spin Blaze Kick. Then we have a Flareon, Entei, Charizard, and Typhlosion. So where in the world is the Infernape going to sit? In about the 19th spot. So unfortunately, it's not really going to do all that great. It's nothing that's going to write home about. But now we're going to check out the Charizard, the Infernape, and the Blaziken compared to each other. So looking here, we have the Infernape sitting with the max CP, the lowest of the three of these guys, 2683. It actually has the lowest attack. It has the second lowest defense. The Blaziken has slightly lower defense, and the defense of the Charizard is going to be higher by 22 points. And as far as the stamina, it's going to be in last place. So it's going to have 183 stamina compared to the Charizard stamina of 186 and the Blaziken of the 190. So fortunately for the Blaziken, its attack is pretty high up there, so that's really what bumps it up on this list, and it bumps up its CP max to the second highest. The Charizard is going to have the most balanced stats. It's definitely got more defense than anybody by quite a few, and the stamina is going to be in the second spot. So that's why the Infernape unfortunately doesn't get all the way to the top. It actually sits in the third best spot between these three attackers as far as a starter goes.
Just as we suspected, with the DPS being a little bit subpar, with the TDO being a little bit subpar, with the attack being okayly high, and the defensive stamina being mediocrely high, that is what we're going to get for the Infernape with the Blast Burn. So, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Do you still like this Pokemon? Do you want to use your resources now that we have analyzed it right now? Check it out. Let me know. I'm waiting. Before I give you my recommendation. Okay, so here's my recommendation. If you guys are going to want to power one of these guys up, I highly suggest that you use a lucky one, so at least you can use less of your Stardust, right? Like, I'm not super opposed to powering up mediocre Pokemon if they're very sentimental for you, if you have an abundance of Stardust, meaning 5+ million, right? That's just where I would say that a benchmark is pretty good for you guys. I know some of you guys may be newer to the game, or you've been trading and doing some things that may not have served your Stardust resources, but I would rather have you have Stardust resources going towards future boss Gen 5 legendaries, which are going to come out because the dragons in Gen 5 are absolutely powerfully insane, right? So we need the resources for that. So if this is a sentimental Pokemon, you must max it. Number one, get it as a lucky Pokemon. Number two, preferably that lucky Pokemon is a very high CP, high level, meaning hopefully around 33 and 35, right? So that's what I would say if you're gonna power it up, because normally at level 35, it costs 88,000 Stardust to go from 35 to 40. But if it was lucky at level 35, it would only take 44,000, which is really not that much of a resource if it's sentimental for you. So that's where we're sitting, guys. If you want to do a lucky special trade for the Infernape with the Blast Burn and the shiny variant, you can do so. I wouldn't go gung-ho here. I wouldn't try to get the best one. It's not really the best Pokemon out there. There's definitely going to be some better ones. And like I said, the Gen 5 Dragons, which is going to have a fire variant, could take over the top spot if the stats don't get nerfed over the top, which I don't think it's going to, because the stats are so high, and usually we only see about a 10% nerf. So 10% of where it's at right now is still keeping it super high. So that's what we're gonna do, guys. I appreciate you guys tuning in, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, for taking their subscriptions to that next level. I can't wait if you're here right now, because we're going to be doing some new clothing coming really soon, and we might even get some camo options in the store and a couple other things that we have not seen before. So I'm very excited for you guys. I'm excited for the Christmas and Thanksgiving season, and I'm just excited to be here with you guys as well. So thank you, guys. I will see you out on that next video. Good job for being here and getting a little exclusive leak that may even include a jacket in the near future. Peace.
I just want to take a moment and sincerely thank all of my Patreon members, everybody that has taken their subscription to the next level and chosen to support me on this platform. I greatly appreciate you guys. As a growing channel and really trying to grow and improve as much as I possibly can, I really appreciate the extra support. You guys mean the absolute world to me. I cannot wait to connect with you soon, and I appreciate you guys all for being a part of the Trainer Club. I will see you guys out on the next video.